Welcome to Sideline, the baseline. We back. We back in the building, MB. What's up, baby?
What up, K-Lou?
Hey, look, and we got it all. We done put the band back together. And for our first show back together, we got Mr. Joey. All he do is win, no matter what. Yes, sir. Mr. Lita Davis, mom, coach, momager, right? Coach. Got it all. And listen, we ain't just talking about anybody, but Joey, he's the double man. And I ain't
the champ is here. The champ is here.
I ain't talking about a big double. I'm talking about the 400 and the 400 hurdle. So then also Mr. Joy is a track extraordinaire. He not only does the double, he also does long jump. Mom told us he did used to mess with the high jump a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But I think he done let that go. But also, man, he just finished something big, and we'll talk about that later in the show. However, man, like Joey's like when you go into the state of North Carolina, he the man. Like class of 2028, he that dude.
He's him.
He's a problem, MB.
He's a problem. He's a problem.
Well, look, we're gonna get right into it, and it's been wonderful. We got a chance to talk to the Joey and his mom a bit. MB has a great relationship with them, so these his people, these his folks. So y'all treat them nice now.
I'm trying to get a meal. The mom know how to cook. I'm trying to get a meal. Feed the brother.
Some crock pot at home right now.
Exactly. She's like, I gotta hurry. I got a crock pot at home. I was like, she just said like it's just like, oh, I got food in the microwave. She just said it like it's just like this common, you know. Hey, K-Lou, you know, in Charlotte, I mean, it's probably about 80% of the people are from somewhere else.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, it's hard to find somebody from Carolinas, from Charlotte. So I mean, about 80%, probably the number is growing higher than that, or for somewhere else. You know.
Okay. That tells us a lot. Then she'll have to share a little bit later with some of them dishes that she can throw down with. But we gonna get right into it. We gonna MB tell us about your acronym and go ahead and lead the show, baby.
Oh, yeah. My acronym is just when I was recruiting at University of Miami, and you had to talk to, I mean, probably average about maybe 15, 20 guys, 30 guys a week. And it just sometimes you get redundant. You're like, oh, man, what am I going to say now, you know? And so my brother, who's in sales as far as like financial sales, he just gave me an acronym, and then that just kind of helped guide me. It's the acronym FROM. So when you talk to somebody, it's like, oh, the F represent friends and family, the R represent recreation, the O represent occupation, and the M represent the message. So you'll just talk about, hey, just icebreakers. Hey, family, how the family doing, friends, you know, and then you go from there. Hey, what's going on with recreation, school, especially as kids being in school? Hey, you got the prom going up, man. What's prom? What you wearing? You know. And then occupation in this case is him being a track athlete. Mm-hmm. Then we'll talk to the track, talk about what's going on with the track, as opposed to just jumping right into it, right? And then you talk about the track, and then at the end, whatnot, then you lead with the M is the message, like whatever message I want to convey to him. Hey, man, we'd love to have you at University of Miami. You help us win, And so that's kind of the formula that we use, and we just want to kind of use that today. We talked about his mom being from New York and whatnot. And Joy, where was Joy born at? Here. But so I'm saying, tell us, like, who is Joey Wynn?
Joey Wynn is a track runner, son, nephew. I go to Charlotte Christian. I am going into my sophomore year. I'm 15.
15.
15. A hidden talent that not many people know about. I can sing, but Yeah.
No, hold on. Wait.
You
Hold on. You can sing or sing, right? Some people just sing, hit a no. Can you sing? Can you woo-woo?
I
like
mean-
Luther sang? Like Luther can
No,
sing.
he in JC and KC and JoJo territory, down in North Carolina.
Oh
Can you
man, what
sing
songs you like singing? What type of music?
I don't even remember the songs really, but you know when like your mother in the car or
Yeah.
in, like your grandma and they be singing like
Right.
all, like the black song.
Right,
So
right.
that's the songs be singing with like the the old ones.
Can we hear a song? Can we hear a little bit? Hear a little something?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, let him be. Let him be.
I'll-
He'll call
I hear a
shower
note.
singer.
Oh, you're pausing the show. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. What else isn't talent yet? What else? Tell us more about Joey Wynn.
Other hidden talents. I can skate. I learned how to do like the 3-bladed one. Other things about me, my favorite color is blue. Favorite food is ramen. Not like a famous food that people like for some reason. I don't know. I love it.
Like the ramen noodles and stuff like
ramen noodles, not the cups, but like the really like ramen shops.
Okay.
Like Silver Lake.
Silver Lake, yeah, that would be
Silver Lake.
Okay.
Or homemade ramen made by mother.
Okay. Okay. Now, what's your favorite dish that your mom cooked? Because
The ramen.
The ramen.
Ramen from the crock pot. Yep.
Is that what's waiting at home tonight? Ramen?
No.
Oh no. What you got in the crock pot tonight?
It's I don't know how to explain it. So it's a marinated pork, but it's in beef broth. That's what's in the crock pot.
Boy,
So,
man, I used to get like Chef Boyardee. It's like it's like, oh man, what's going on? Hey, he got his own training table at home. I mean, I like it. All right. What else about Joey Wynn? Like, what else? What do you want people to know about you?
My favorite number is 7. I feel like my lucky number is 5. And my favorite lane on the track is probably number 5.
Oh, yes, sir.
No doubt.
Well, look,
Now,
Joey, talking about track, like what got you involved? You know, this family and friends section. So it was mom a huge factor? Was, you know, grandma, granddaddy? Who was out there getting up out the blocks, as Dion would say?
My uncle was the first one to go to track, but for me, I was always running around like the house and stuff. So my mom always noticed that, and she said she probably gonna put me in track after him. So I went into track, and I always had it in the background behind like other sports that I did, because I did basketball, I did football, I tried tennis. I almost did tennis. Soccer. And then flag football. And I always had track in the background, always running it. And I decided one day to just strictly focus track, which was 7th grade in middle school.
What made you just focus on track? What was the thing?
It was, I think, the Sacramento Junior Olympics. I did really bad and it like upset me. So I decided to focus on it solely because I didn't want that same feeling coming back home again.
That's real.
Wow.
That's real.
That's one of Mark of Champions, MB, because you know, we can definitely think of other guys we've spoken to, and even I'm sure you thought about a moment in your life. I immediately thought one in mine where it got you hungry.
Yeah, no doubt. Where you like, man, I can't go out like this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, no, this ain't me. I remember for me, I was in ROTC in high school, and the dudes I was hanging out with, like it was like mid of the year, and they was all getting awards. And I was the only one that get an award. And I was like, what in the world? And I was like, man, this ain't gonna happen. I said they was playing around with me, but it opened up my eyes that they was playing around, but they was taking care of business.
Right.
You know, and then that was the whole thing. Like it taught me, like, hey, I can play around, but you better take care of business, you know? And I always say this is a price to pay for success. Every day you get better or worse, you never remain the same. So I used to say this, everybody want to be great until it's time to do what greatness requires. And so every day that bill collector knocking on that door, we ain't home. Who is it? Bill Collect. Tell him we're here. No, you got to answer that call. Because success is not a destination; it's a journey.
Right.
And that bill is due every day. It's due every day.
Tell you what, MB just gave us about four nuggets a game, straight game. I'm over here trying to jot them down.
But I want to know from Mom, in a sense, when he decided to focus on track. I know you ran track. I mean, what was your mindset when you heard that? Like, oh no, my baby ain't going out like that. What was your thought process and the whole thing as well?
Actually relieved when he wanted to focus strictly on track. He was actually doing 7-on-7 the same summer he was going to Sacramento for the Junior Olympics that year. And he stubbed his toe really bad, which is partly why he didn't do as well as he wanted to in Sacramento, because his toenail was basically hanging off due to the 7-on-7 football game that he was playing with some of his rising 7th grade friends. So when he decided, I don't want to do football anymore, which he only did it for 1 year, but he didn't want to do anything else. He wanted to focus on track. I was actually relieved and happy about that, because going to multiple practices a day, I mean, if you could just think about it, like you got school,
right,
then you got 7-on-7, or you had regular football practice for the
Right.
school, and then you had to go around, track back around and go
Right.
track practice at Johnson C. Smith, because that's where he was practicing at that time.
Right.
That's a lot on me too. So when he decided to just focus on one, I was very happy.
You're like, no more Uber driving.
Yeah.
But now you ran track yourself. When did you realize that he could be special?
I would say he was about 12 years old, and he loved it. But like he said, he was playing other things too. He's playing soccer, basketball, all the little baseball, toddler games and things like that. So by the time he turned about 12, which is same 6th, 7th grade, I just noticed that he was really, really trying to get faster. He wanted to win. And I think that's what it took. Yeah, he liked to win when he was 6, 7, 8, 9, but I seen the passion in his eyes when he turned about 12. And then that's when I just said, okay, we need to find someone else. That's what I did.
Now he started off running what was his events in track? Like,
he started with, I put him in the 800. I felt like that's where he should start, just from my little knowledge of track and field and knowing, hey, he wasn't like super, super fast sprinting at 6 years old. So I was like, you know what, let's just put you in 800. So we did the 800 up until about 12. Up until about 12. And he just strictly ran the 800, 6, 7, 8, 9. He did about a couple of 4x4 relays, things like that. But his main event was the 800. And then decided to start dropping him down when he hit the 11, 12 age group. So we decided to start doing and focusing more on the 4. So we would do a couple 8s and then do the 4. So he was like a 4-8 runner. We did incorporate the Sacramento, which was 2023. That's when we started. No, 2021, 2020. I don't know.
It was around there.
Eugene was 2023. So
Eugene was 2023. So yeah,
Eugene,
it was the one before it.
So 2022 was his first time actually trying and running the hurdles. He was so scared, but he finished. He just didn't finish where he
wanted.
Yeah. So then we started incorporating the hurdles then. So that was about 11, 12 too. So everything started kicking up for him in the 11, 12 age group.
Now 400 and the 400 hurdle.
Yeah, stayed.
What made you go? I mean, it's one thing to go from 800 to 400. Now it's a shorter race, and I'm sure it's like felt easy for him, right? But then, what made you also say, okay, we're going to add the hurdles as well? What you saw in him? Okay,
that wasn't my choice to add the hurdles. That was Joey's choice, and a lot of the things that I say is mainly what he has decided to do. I'm just a person in the background making it happen. But he said he wanted to drop out the 8. He was getting tired of the 8, and I didn't want him to lose the passion for the game or the passion for the track. So I decided to take him down and let him run the 4, because the 8 can be exhausting. It's no joke to run 2 laps around the track, and it just keeps getting faster every age group. So when I started seeing him not really want to go to practice anymore. He'll try to skip the long distance practices. I was like, okay, we got to find something else because I didn't want him to lose that love for the sport.
Right.
So
that's good wisdom.
Yeah,
that's good because a lot of times I know I grew up in an environment where kids ain't got no right. You do what I tell you to do. That's all right.
yeah.
But it's good that you saw that in them, that you saw the signs like, wait a minute now, he's not responding the way I want to respond. So then that's when you make that adjustment. You know,
Right.
that's good on you. What would you say to parents or advice that you would give with parents who maybe want to force their kids to do stuff? I mean, what would your advice would be?
I definitely wouldn't force them. I wouldn't force him to do any event in track and field or probably any sport. I wouldn't force him to do it because then I feel like they're going to lose the passion for it later. So like if you're forcing them to do it at 7, they're not going to love it at 15. Like that's my advice. So, and then our dreams are not their dreams. That's another thing. And I feel like that's another reason why some parents force their kids. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen parents kind of force their kids to run. And now we don't even see them around the track anymore. We haven't seen them this year. And so I'm just like, it's just you got to do it. You got to do it. They don't really have to. Like they got to love it or it's not going to be there.
Like that advice. What would you say stories about the past? Think about Michael Jackson and his dad driving him. You know, I think about the Williams sisters, right? Talking about they came movie King Richard. You know, deciding and pushing them to greatness. As far as driving, how did you challenge him or push him towards the greatness of all he could be in that arena? You know what I'm saying? Like when if sometimes I'm sure he don't want to practice. Sometimes he don't want to do some things. He may have that AI mentality. We talking about practice, you know, Allen. And so how do you push him or challenge him to okay, we're gonna do it, but push him towards greatness?
I don't know. I don't think it's just me because I don't think he listened to me half the time because I'm the mom. I'm just being honest. Like towards certain.
I get the same issue. K-Lou get the same. Kobe Bryant had the same issue. It's just something about that, you know.
I don't think so, but I mean, I try, and he looked at me like I was crazy just now. When I say you don't listen to me all the time, I'm not talking about if I tell you to do something. I'm saying like my advice. A lot of times I think you don't think I know what I'm talking about. So therefore I have to find somebody else to get them to know what I'm talking about.
Stop coaching them.
Stop coaching him after middle school. You can do it when they're 6, 7, and 8. You're the world to them. You know, by the time they get a little older, you don't know what you're talking about.
Man.
So therefore, I just said, I got to find somebody else to tell them. Listening to me, you know, and it happens with all kids. They like, you don't know the best advice, and that's what I have to do. You got to back off sometimes and let somebody else come in and handle it. Right. And I don't know everything, and so I feel like that was a good age for him to get coaching and better coaching from someone else because I did all I can, and a lot of parents don't understand that there's a ceiling that you can only take your kid, but so far you need to find somebody else that could take them a little higher, and that's what I had to do, and that's what I did. But I realized that, and I did it quick because I wanted him to not fall back from the sport.
Well, when you talk about find somebody else, tell them about the journey. How did you find somebody else? What happened?
It was an indoor meet, and we noticed this guy fly across the track, and he was on my team. And my dad was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "I've been beating him in practice and last year." And he was like, "What? Oh no!" And then after that, my mom went to his mom and was like, "Is that Matthew?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "You got to go to this place. Jet LLC is where I run now." And she went there and we did this evaluation with the coach. And I almost failed the evaluation. I was 1 point off. And the funny thing is about the evaluation, there was no running with it. It was like balancing and eye and foot coordination and stuff. And I guess I just didn't really have that. So
Core strength.
And going into that, I was lost. And thank God that he took me in, because this is where I am now. And I remember just starting in the gym, and we were like run up this street, and it was really dark. I was like, oh my gosh, where are we? And then we came back, and we just did a lot of like weightlifting, balancing, and like rotary mechanics in this gym that we were in.
Right.
And I remember I had to strip down to like basics and just learn it all over again, which in turn helped me.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, look here, man. Please, in your Hall of Fame speech, do not bring up Matthew's name like Michael Jordan did to Clifton Harris. Remember when Mike said, "Hey, the dude they cut that they cut before on junior varsity, they is back there." He brought that man.
They're actually friends.
We're friends, yeah.
Yes. They talk like almost every day.
I'm probably about to talk to him later today.
Yes,
Well,
they're actually friends.
Look here, you do a whole lot of track, you do whole lot of training, physio, you know, education, obviously, so you got to keep them grades up. But talk to us about what you do in your free time. Go to that art recreation.
In my free time, it's kind of like I just either get on the game, or sometimes I take just random showers. Just I don't know, like when I
just take random showers.
when I'm bored, I just take random showers.
Oh, just go take a shower.
But I stay clean though. I just get bored. Say I'm on the game, I get bored, I'm watching the show. I'm like, I could just go do something else. And then like showers like a kind of reset for me. So like I go in the shower and I get out like, now I know what I want to do after. So take random showers. I probably eat, watch shows, or play in the game. And sometimes I ride around with my mom and my grandma when they go on errands. So that's really what I do in my free time.
Well, look here, we're going to get right back into because we already let you have your little fun, your little wreck. We get right back into the thick of things and go into track again. And guess who we got? We got old Coach Jones in the building.
What's up, Coach?
Is that Coach Jones?
Jordan there.
Good evening, everybody.
What's going
Good
on,
evening.
man? Talk to us about this guy, Mr. Joey Wynn. Tell us how you got introduced to him, and then go straight into what you did with him, and then we can go right into the National Junior Olympics that just happened.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to thank you guys for having me on, having us on, and highlighting Joey and giving him an opportunity to tell his story. But yeah, Joey, he came to me, I want to say maybe 7 years ago, and he was this real skinny, unathletic looking dude, funny looking dude. And Shalita, his mother, wanted me to introduce or evaluate her son. And before I work with any athletes, I take them functional movement screen, and just kind of evaluate them and look for any deficiencies that they may have that are preventing them from being the best version of themselves. And it gives me a benchmark of which to start with when we start their program, so that I can individualize the program specifically for those athletes. And Joey, I guess, came in with a little bit of success, and his mom kind of had her idea of her baby being this really good athlete, which he was a good athlete, but when I did the evaluation, he scored pretty low.
Yeah.
And
he said he barely passed.
Yeah, I just remember this distraught look on her face. And she was like really nervous, like, oh my gosh, my baby sucks. Yeah. It's funny because she wanted to know what, like, will you work with them? Are you still gonna work with them? And it was like, I'm of the mindset that, I'll make anybody fast, as long as they're willing to work. So Joey came in, and when Joey came in, we had at that time some of the top athletes in our training group in the state of North Carolina. Gatorade Athlete of the Year, Cameron Rose, multi-state champion, Trevin Moyer, of course, Evan Boykin, all these guys who were national champions, who were some of the top in the country on the men's side and the women's side. So Joey came into an environment where he didn't have a choice but to get better, and he was able to see greatness around him at every turn, and he was able not just to see the athletes at a peak level, but he was able to see them at the beginning when everybody starts at the same, and everybody hurts, and everybody has to grind, and the best of the best, in order to get to that level, he was able to see what that took from a day-to-day on a day-to-day basis. So it really kind of set the foundation for him to become the athlete that he's currently becoming.
So what are the when he came in, what did you after you did your testing and evaluation, what did you see him as? Did you automatically see him and say, hey man, you need to be back on that 800?
No, the great thing about track and field is your event eventually picks you. There are so many different disciplines in the sport, and the one thing that you know my test is pretty objective. You either is or you ain't. And I look at what are areas of deficiency, and at that time, what was he, 9, 10, 11, at that age, he was deficient in areas that for most developmental kids is pretty normal. He lacked a lot of functional strength, certain fundamental motor skills, a lot of things that we took for granted, in our era growing up, because we played outside. Kids,
Right.
you ask Joey
Right.
what he did, and he say, I sit back and I played a video game. We didn't have video games,
Right.
and if we had the video game, you wasn't playing the video game unless it was something special. And that was, when Atari first came out,
Exactly.
boing, boing, they're playing Pong or something, but it was
Right.
a lot of things that we develop naturally. A lot of these kids don't have, because they either
That's true.
individualize in the sport, are sport specific from a young age. So certain developmental areas, such as like I said, rhythm, fundamental motor skills, uh, bone density, coordination, just
Right.
overall athleticism. That has to, if you have an athlete who um, has the ability to excel, and you see a plateau, you have to go to, nowadays you have to go to a coach to specialize in that, because there are a lot of things at young ages that kids aren't doing anymore, so that you have to get developed at a later age. So from a developmental standpoint, I just looked at Joey, and I never say this kid can't be this, or this kid is gonna be this. I asked them what their goals are, and then I asked them if they're willing to work to achieve them. And that's pretty much where the program starts. How good they develop, that depends on them. I can't measure their heart and their mind. I can just give them the tools to be successful. And if they have genetics, that helps. Like I said, I believe that my program, I can make anybody faster. However, if you a donkey, you ain't ever gonna be the thoroughbred. So don't bring me no donkey and expect for me to be the thoroughbred. You're gonna be the fastest donkey, but
Come
you ain't gonna
on.
be no
Come on.
thoroughbred.
Hey, coach, you must didn't watch Shrek, man. You see Donkey turn into a thoroughbred.
Hey, that only happens in make believe. I don't have none of that potion.
Coach, what did you see in him that made that's like, man, this kid could be a thoroughbred? When did you recognize what qualities did you see in him? Because his mom told me a story. Like he said, he jumped too, and you said what? You remember you said that something like that? Like
Oh, I was and that after the evaluation and everything, I was telling you, I was like, well, he
Oh,
jumped too, and then he hurdled, and you said to me, well, he got to learn how to run first.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like,
And I was like, okay.
yeah, I mean, and that is just the foundation. A lot of the foundational things, um, he wasn't great at, and
Mhm.
my program is built on the philosophy of age appropriate and long term athletic development. So when I'm looking at especially a young kid, I'm not looking at where they at right now. I'm looking at
right.
4 years, 5 years, 6 years down the road. What are the things that they need to develop that, number one, is going to help them excel as an athlete. Number two, that will keep them out of the training room and keep them healthy. But number three, and most importantly, is to be able to progress every year and get better and better and better and not plateau. And that just comes from a well-designed plan and program that is put in place. So Joey, the thing, going back to Coach Barrow, the question that you asked, when did I realize that Joey had the ability to be great? It was probably about 2 years ago, when the one thing that you can't measure is a person's heart. And the one thing about Joey is he just had a motor, and the kid just never got tired. And and he loves the process of being great. That's what sets great athletes apart from good athletes. um, he doesn't complain about work. He doesn't complain about events. You ask him to run something, he's excited about the challenge. And that's an intangible that you can't coach, you can't teach. You either have it or you don't have it. And just the natural joy and love that he has for the sport, that's what separates him from other athletes his age.
When you talking about he ain't got that AI mentality, we talking about practice, go practice. Wow, that's amazing. That's
No,
amazing. Well, Cole, let me ask you a question. Before we let you go, talk about what happened at Junior Olympics and just man, just the feat that he accomplished, man, just how special that is. Can you kind of tap into that before we let you go?
yeah, we had a plan going into the Junior Olympics, and even way before the Junior Olympics when he first came to Charlotte Christian, because Joey was so talented in multiple areas. His mom wanted to know what he was gonna do, like what we were gonna what we well, 'cause he can long jump, and he runs 400 hurdles, and he runs a 400, and he runs the 200, and he can do the 800. And
Roll
and
call.
yeah, I mean, so coming up in the system, where it's a bunch of kids, and you're running maybe 4 races every single week, and kids do a lot of things. Again, I believe in that long-term development and preservation and running fast when it counts and when it matters. So looking at his 4-year plan and program, I envision Joey, by his junior year, being one of the top dual threat athletes in the country in the 400 and the 400 hurdles. So
Championship, the championship.
in order to do that, hurdling is such a rhythmic race, especially the intermediate hurdles. You have to have the speed of a sprinter, you have to have the strength of an 800-meter runner. But everything comes back down to being able to execute technically. So the focus was for this year was to make him a better overall sprinter, and the focus on the 400 during the school year. Get his speed, get his confidence in his speed there, and challenge him and push him outside of his comfort zone. And then we'll strengthen him, and then go into more rhythm in the 400 hurdles, see where he's at in the 400 hurdles, and then sophomore year really focus on improving some of those areas in the 400 hurdles. So this year we challenged him by putting him on 4x4s, putting him on 4x1s, making him run things that were outside of his comfort zone so that he could become just a total sprinter, a total athlete. So if he's able to do that, and I believe he ran a 4x8. So if he's able to do that and he has confidence, he's the number one freshman in the state in the 400. Was one of the top intermediate hurdlers in the state in private school before
Nice.
getting hurt before the state meet. One of the top, I believe, the top long jumper freshman in the state. So having all of these things, it was like, okay, we've accomplished those things. Now let's see what we can do this summer. And let's try to just run as fast
Right.
as we can. Knowing that in the hurdles, it was like this year wasn't going to be a year that he was going to win it, because they got some his age group, they got some dogs, some real dogs. And not that Joey's not a dog, but just wasn't he wasn't there. We just hadn't done enough technical work.
Right.
He's got to get stronger. You can look at his upper body and see that you push his chest, his shoulders are touched because he's so skinny. So um, we,
Okay.
we got to get him stronger in that in the upper
Yeah.
body. So he did, those are areas that we knew that he
Right.
didn't have.
Mhm.
So going
Right.
into the national meet, the goal was just to get him that experience. I don't think he'd ever made a final in the 400
Mm-mm.
going into
Oh,
national.
wow.
That was
So
the first time I
Never
made
made
it.
it. Wow.
That was the first time.
yeah,
Congratulations.
so
And
he
then it was record heat too, right? The
I mean
conditions,
it,
pulling
it, it
a double 400 in record
yeah, he
heat
ran
temperature.
five rounds in historic heat, not
Wow.
record, historic heat.
Historic heat.
Historic
It was
heat.
hot.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
that
then somebody else from North Carolina, top guy, tried to do the same thing and didn't make it. Is that right?
yeah. I mean the bet,
Right.
and he's one of. I mean, he had the top
Right.
time out of the state going in. So
Wow.
taking all those things into
Man. Bravo,
consideration.
man.
Yeah, for
Thank you.
sure,
Thank
for
you.
Great
sure.
job.
You
Great
know,
job.
so just giving him that experience in having him
Right.
overcome adversity. Because again, this that national meet is something that we expect for him to be at every year
Amen.
for the next couple years. And this year you get a mulligan, go in and let's see where we are at
Right.
the national level, see where the
Right.
deficiencies are, and come back to the lab and work on them, and with the expectation when we go back is come back in that top spot.
Well, Coach, man, thank you so much. Well said. I mean, you could just hear. I mean, you're not letting him get. It's a 9 out of 10 people can handle failure, but only 1 out of 10 can handle success. And I can tell right now, with you coaching them up, you ain't gonna let them get comfortable with success at all.
No, no. That one last thing, that's a part of our kind of mantra as a team and as a program. We talk about understanding the stages of becoming a champion.
Yeah.
There are 4 stages as coaches that we try to get our kids to accomplish. The first stage is they got to learn how to compete.
Right.
And that starts from day one, competing in practice, competing against yourself, competing against how you excel in your nutrition, in your regeneration, in your recovery. Everything is a competition. And then learning how to win. um Once they learn how to compete, they gotta learn how to win.
Right.
So the goal is when you get in you win your practices, you try to win
Yes.
all your races, you win through the rounds, and it becomes second nature. And then the third part is learning how to handle winning, because a lot of people start winning and get the big head, and think that they're really good, and they stop working as hard as they did, to get to that point. And if once an athlete can master those three phases of learning how to compete, learning how to win, learning how to handle winning, then they um, graduate to that last phase, which is becoming a champion.
Wow.
So we're Joey learned how to compete this year. He learned how to win. He's starting to learn how to handle winning, and
Yeah.
he's got another step, to get to
Yeah.
that next level. So this
Right.
next year coming up, well, we hope to make that transition.
Well,
Man,
thank
Coach,
you
you
so
sound like Mickey from Rocky, man. Rocky, kill you, Rock. Yeah, I love it, man. Thanks, Coach. And speaking of champions, congratulations on you, man, winning your state title this year at Charlotte Christian. Man, well job, man. Congratulations, Coach.
job
Appreciate it.
well done.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for having us. And again, before leaving, just want to make sure that we give glory to God for having this opportunity to
Amen.
be
All
in
right.
this position, to do what
Amen.
we do.
Amen.
So
All right, amen.
Absolutely,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
Good
All right,
night.
have a good one, man. And then speaking again, glory, we wanna talk about what's important in your heart,
Mhm.
your message thing. One of the main reasons why you wanted to do this. Can you kind of explain your foundation and
Right.
what's your why and what you want to do as we close out?
I started a foundation. It's called Autoimmune Students in Sports. Our vision for this
And
foundation,
what's the acronym?
as is,
As
our
is.
vision is to be a resource and a safe space for autoimmune students in sports. And our mission is to reach out to as many athletes who are in school who need to build their confidence, who have their autoimmune diseases. And our purpose is to build confidence through autoimmune diseases through sports.
You know, when you said something this time, you said safe space.
Mm-hmm.
And that's powerful because I know growing up how, especially as a elementary kid, little kids or teen, they can be ruthless,
Right.
Mhm.
right? I mean, they no holds bars. I mean, unfiltered,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, like they used to talk about my big head, they big lips, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then on top of that, I used to wet the bed, you know. So I used to get it, and so when you talk about safe space, like talk about the struggles that you face dealing with what you feel, and let people know what you're dealing with right now.
I'm dealing with alopecia areata. It is an autoimmune disease and it takes away your hair. It could be stress oriented or like just genetically. And things I dealt with, like speaking on the safe space, going to school, I felt very judged, and just out in the world, I felt very judged. I tried to stay in the house and just out of people's sight all the time. The only place I really felt safe or like as a safe space in was really with my mom and just in my room. Like I couldn't really run or jump effectively with it because I kept being distracted by how I felt people looked at me
Right.
because I felt abnormal
Right.
and just out of the norm. So I feel like creating this foundation to help people not feel that way could help them not have to go through what I went through,
Right.
or at least help it be easier.
Right.
So making this, it'll build their confidence.
Right.
In sports, I feel like it makes the people look at your ability more than your appearance.
Yes.
So it'll really ease the weight on them, I feel like.
Right. And that's good. And so you want it with your foundation,
Mhm.
you want to create a safe space. You want to create a
Right.
spot where what you have like seminars
Mhm.
or TED Talks or some
Right.
chat panel
Mhm.
talk and talk about the issues and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And tell them it's just not you. Like you got a cousin also.
Right.
Tell me about him.
My cousin, he plays baseball. He has sickle cell. And I'm pretty sure that he went through a struggle with that as well. Because I remember we all went to a pool party thing with him to celebrate him getting past it. So I'm definitely sure that was a struggle. And I can't imagine the struggle that other people are going through with other autoimmune diseases that, you don't really hear or see.
And you talk about struggles. Tell them about. Let's dig a little deeper, like the struggle. Like I think you said, you used to wear a do-rag,
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then how did you overcome that? How did you break through from doing that?
Getting past the hood and the hat and the do-rag was really my village and my sport, because I got really good in track, which
Right.
helped me forget I had my autoimmune disease, and I just didn't care what the world thought, and I just cared about my performance in my sport. And then, you know, you got a good village like your mom and grandma, your dad, and they always push for the sport and the thing that you want. They want the best for you. So that also helps you take your mind off of your alopecia or sickle cell or autoimmune disease.
Mom, how did you react? I know, like my wife, well, she ready to fight. Remember my baby? That's my baby, right? How did you, manage that, and what was your goal in helping your son get through that rough spot?
So I didn't want to fight anybody. I mean,
come on, you from New York.
I didn't want to fight anyone. I mean, my heart actually hurt when he was going through this. So the fighting was like behind me. I was more so worried just strictly about him and his mental capacity and what he can handle. And I think just like he said, the village and just me just being a positive light and trying to help him see that just because he has this is not a bad thing.
Right.
Because that's hard for kids to not know. When they see something abnormal, or if he feels like he's abnormal, then that's a bad thing.
Right.
And it was me just pouring that life into him, that this is not a bad thing.
Right.
And helping him that way. Of course, praying.
Right.
A lot of praying.
Right. Come on now.
Took a lot of praying.
Right.
So he can to gain understanding. Because you know, when you're human and sometimes you question, Lord, why me? So I think I feel like he was going through the Lord, why me part of his life.
Right.
And so just went to church and just going and having that understanding that you're not alone. And so that's why I when he was talking to me and I said, well, you know, there's others like you.
Amen.
You just don't see them because they're hiding just like you're hiding.
Wow.
So, and they are. And we see them every now and then on the track.
Right.
We've seen some at a national meet and they're gone like this. Like you see them for a split. They run on the track and then they're gone. And you're like, where did that kid go? I want to talk to that kid.
Right.
Yeah. But they're hiding. And it just, Joey was like, he wants to reach people. He wants to let them know it's okay. And so in doing this is actually helping him too.
Right.
So I think Denzel Washington said before, like, the most selfish thing you can do is help others because of the gratitude that you feel for yourself from doing it. So,
Right.
And I think that with his foundation, with everything he wants to do, the TED Talks, the teen talks, the giveaways for the younger athletes and just exposing autoimmune students to different sports. And he's reached out to different coaches like Coach Jones and possibly collaborating with them for kids with autoimmune diseases. So going through those steps, I think that what he's doing is something that hasn't been done.
Right.
So getting it off the ground is going to be a huge thing for him at 15.
Right.
Like he's 15.
Right.
So.
I know, that's amazing. 15, usually 15 is like me.
Right.
I was like concerned about me, but it's amazing that you're concerned about other people as well. So I commend you on that. And then just the sports, using sports as that vehicle, because we know today sports is huge, but also I grew up like I was like not the best athlete, and I know sports has brought me to rose me up from a big head, wet the bed, last person to get picked on football. For the football team. My sister used to get picked before me playing tackle football. So I was that dude, but excelling in sports, it just brought me a newfound confidence. It, like you said, brought me out of shell. Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this because I feel like even though he's speaking of the sports, I think it also took a brotherhood. Right. So going to a new school. He was fresh, new to Charlotte Christian this year, and he knew who Evan was because they ran on the club circuit.
Right.
So Joey ran for Charlotte Flights, which is a great foundational track team in here in Charlotte. I recommend Charlotte Flights to just about everyone I run into that's asking about track and field. I'm like, you need to go to Charlotte Flights.
Right.
But it took, and Evan ran on Charlotte Heat, which is another track team here in Charlotte.
Right.
But it took people like Evan Boykin, people like Jamal Rule,
Right.
people like Nick Dunkley. It took them too to get Joey, grab him and say, we don't care about that.
Right.
Like, come over here. We need you to run.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you know? So, and then I think they even helped him get out of that shell too, because they didn't judge him by his appearance.
Right.
I've never heard them say anything to him in a negative light about his hair when it's gone or when it's there. Because I mean, it could be here today, gone tomorrow with that disease. So
and
yeah. So I was saying, like, it took strong-minded athletes also to help him.
Right. And so it helps so much that now, like, you went from do-rag to, like, man, I just, like, tell me, like, your thought process now. Because you went from covering up with do-rag now tell me.
My thought process now is really I just go to the meet and run. Like, I just forget I even have it. And I just go there. I'm like, the race or the game is more important. It weighs more than this.
Yes.
Because I would go in feeling worse if I lost than, like walking in with this. So I feel like go into the sports and just going in there. I just go in with a happy mindset, going in with fun. And I just know in my head, I'm going to do great.
Right.
So I'm going to feel great. And then the hair doesn't matter.
Good.
And then what do you do when people, because even this past year, like, people just walk by you and they say little comments to you. I feel like personally it's just to throw you off your game.
Right.
So they try to use what they feel is your weakest point.
Right.
So how do you deal with that? Because you have told me plenty of stories of people saying stuff to you when you're on that field.
How I deal with it is really, I just think about the sport. I think about my love for the sport and how I'm going to perform, because it means more to me than this. That's how I deal with that.
Okay. Let me ask this: How can people support you? Like, you got the foundation. Is it set up yet to receive donation?
Yes.
Like, do you want to give the information? You have it here that we can give it now.
I mean, he's accepting checks.
Okay.
And they can be payable to autoimmune students in sports.
Amen.
It has its own account and everything.
And then we'll get the address and stuff where they can send it, right?
Yes.
Is there, like, Cash App or anything else?
He does have a Cash App, and we can, if you want it specifically for that, we can definitely make sure that it goes specifically to there. He also has an EIN already set up. So if you want to do, tax write-offs are big. So definitely do it.
We turn down number callers. And then NIL, this NIL state. So Novant Health, Atrium, right here, spokesperson right now for you. Right. Exactly.
And you can definitely write it off as like I said, as a tax write-off, because he does have an EIN set up. It is a nonprofit organization that he has done, but he is at the ground, so he is trying to get it right.
No doubt. Well, hey, I want to just shake your hand for the outstanding job you're doing. You definitely are a role model to a lot of kids in your situation. And Mom, great job.
Thank you.
Bravo. Great job, Mom. Great job. K-Lou, baby, you got it.
Well, thank you, Shalita and Joey. All you do is win, baby. And
all you do is win.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate y'all for coming on Sideline the Baseline. From
Thank you
MV
for having
and
us.
K-Lou, we gone.
Peace.
Bye.